continue to pray for their safety. So let's please, wherever we are, do whatever we can with whatever resources we have and with our full hearts to help them there. The chat will be turned off during our class, but we'll be able to share words again after. So, couple of announcements, and we'll begin seated, either chair or on the floor, just so you know where we're going. We have a new course coming from Rabbi Sam Feinsmith, who was so fantastic. It's called Sitting with the Sfirot, a Kabbalistic Journey for Deepening Your Jewish Mindfulness Meditation Practice. Check that out. If learning more about the Sfirot interests you, Sam is a phenomenal teacher. This course begins February 6th, so you can check that out. And also the Peaceful Parent Project. It's 6 sessions, and we're partnering with Orot to present it to help parents bring mindfulness, compassion, and Jewish wisdom to their parenting. It begins January 22nd. If this is for you or for anyone you know, please share the information, send it on. All right, my friends, today is the 13th of January. It's also the 13th of the month of Tevet. Easy to remember. And it is the full moon. So we're gonna get started in our practice and orient ourselves with the beginning of the book of Exodus with Parshat Shemot this week. So have a seat, take your seat. Might be on the floor, propped up, it might be in the chair. Root yourself through your feet, through your sitting bones. Tall, lifted spine. If it feels safe and comfortable, you can close your eyes. Alternatively, feel free to leave your eyes open and let the gaze be soft. Let the eyelids be soft. Begin to feel the breath coming and going. And feel sensation arising and passing. Everything is always moving, always changing. Notice any sensations that are prominent in your body. Feel your connection to the floor, to the earth, to this space of holiness that you inhabit, both physically and spiritually, emotionally. This opportunity for connecting with yourself, with each other, with divinity. You might begin to whisper to yourself on each exhale, Hineni, I'm here. Hineni, arriving to this moment. Hineni, I'm here for this practice to support myself in my life. Hineni, I'm available and ready to serve. Hineni, I'm here. Let's inhale the shoulders up towards the ears and exhale, draw the shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. And feel free to keep the eyes closed and stay deeply connected if you'd like. And just taking some shoulder rolls, inhaling up and exhaling down and back. Back and down. And then pause, just feel those shoulder blades sliding down the back. And exhale your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can let the lower jaw go slack, separate lower lips from upper lips. Let the head be heavy. And then exhale as you come down through the middle, bringing chin to chest. Nice and super slow. And then just stay there, chin to chest, head heavy. Feeling any sensation in the upper shoulders, between the shoulder blades. And then rolling on over to the left side, left ear to left shoulder. Again, easy jaw, head heavy. And then a couple of half moons like this, side to side. Chin to chest and over to the side. And back again. Take it just nice and slowly. Delicious. Easy going. And the next time you come through center, lift the head. We're going to take a little bit of cat and cow. You could take that sitting, or you could take that on quadruped. Up to you. It's always the same, arching and curling with the spine. If you're on quadruped, just remember to lift up out of the wrists. You can also stand on your fists if that feels better than wrist flexion. Do as you need now and throughout class. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail, open the collarbones, arch. And as you exhale, curl. Mid-back, doming back, C curve. Of course, the instructions are a little bit different if you're sitting, but you understand what I'm saying. As you inhale, arch, and as you exhale, curl. Sound is welcome. Make any sounds you need. Really helps in releasing tension. And then come back to neutral. We're going to take a stretch for the inner thighs, for the adductors. You could do this kneeling as I'm doing, or you could do it standing and holding onto a chair. So extend your right leg out to the side. I have my whole foot down. And we're just going to draw the torso back, draw the buttocks toward the heels, and forward. Just to neutral, or to 90, and back. And just notice how that feels through the inner line of the leg, through the adductors. And you can play with the foot if you want. You can flex the foot and lift up the toes. But mostly we're looking for that sensation on the inner thigh. You can find a place and hold as you go. You could play a little with the position of the hips in order to bring the amount of sensation that you want. After you've done that several times, come back to center. Just notice any sensation and we'll take the other side. I have a wall in my way, so I have to turn, but you can just extend your left leg. So it's out to the side, and we're drawing back and forth. Go easy if you haven't done much today or stretched this area for a while. It can be an awakening, right? So we don't want to overdo. Just drawing tailbone back and forth. Then when you're ready, come on back to center. Have a seat. I'm going to share some teaching, or you can feel free to do a little bit of stretching on your own as you take in some words here. So as I said, it's the 13th of Tevet. We're beginning the book of Shmot, the book of Exodus. And the moon, my moon app says for tonight 99.9%. So this is the technical full moon, but it also said full last night and 2 more nights as it's going to start to wane. But go take a look at the moon where you are. It's nice to just be able to ground ourselves with that. So Shmot, yeah, we have a whole new generation of Israelites. Joseph and his brothers have died, and the Torah says a new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. So we're encountering Egypt and Pharaoh, Egypt, Mitzrayim, for the first time. So we know that the root of Mitzrayim, tsar, narrow, the narrow place, the place of constriction. Exodus in the Hasidic lens and in the mindfulness lens is an exodus of awareness, an exodus of da'at, of movement into freedom of consciousness, liberation of consciousness, from constriction to expanse. Yeah? The Meor Einayim said, Hada'at haya begalut, right? Awareness was in the galut, was in exile. It's an inner state, right? Egypt, not so much as a geographical location, but a state of being, a state of awareness or non-awareness, a state of mindlessness. And Mitzrayim represents how we become enslaved by our thoughts, by our self-limitations, by our fears, by our regrets, by our conditioned habits, all of this. And Yetziat Mitzrayim, which we'll get to later, leaving Egypt. Right now we're in Egypt, enslaved. But Yetziat Mitzrayim, through the book of Shmot, it's the process of becoming unenslaved by our conditioning, by our limitations, by our fears, becoming aware and becoming whole again. So just to kind of give that lens for all of this is important. So Pharaoh, Mitzrayim, represents forgetting, constriction, fear-based mind states that, and Moshe represents remembering, moving towards higher consciousness. So we have the beautiful story of the burning bush. It gives me shivers that this is coming in tandem with the devastation of wildfires happening in LA. It's a weird synchronicity. God is calling to Moses here from within the bush, right? The bush was aflame, yet the bush was not consumed. And God calls to Moses from the bush, Moshe, and he answers. How does he answer? Hineni, here I am, here I am. God says, don't come closer, remove your sandals from your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy ground. Ki hamakom asher ata omed alav admat kodeshu. Admat kodesh, holy ground. This is holy ground. And what happens? Moses hides his face. Vayaster Moshe panav, because he was afraid to look at God. Ki yareh mehabit ela Elohim. And so they have this conversation. And God makes his case, and Moses says, well, who am I to do this? And of course, he is now starting to open to the God who proclaims God's self as Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be that which I will be. So this requires for Moshe to acquire a certain amount of stability to really step into his Hineni on Admat Kodesh. So in our practice, our Admat Kodesh, always in the micro, right, is the mat, this space, this holy space, my breath, my body, my life is Admat Kodesh. And how can I expand my awareness to come out of exile? So that I can say in my life, Hineni. So that's what we're doing in our poses today. Poses that are going to strengthen us, spread us out, expand us a little into this consciousness. So if you'll come to stand, if you have the chair, again, not required, optional. Going to take mountain pose, standing to the back of the chair, feet together, arms behind you, and the palms pressing forward. If you have no chair, just mountain pose. Finding stability. What we do get with the chair is kind of this added sense of where am I? Right? Ayeka, where are you? Hineni, here I am. In space, against the chair, collarbones wide, upper arm bones moving back. You can really feel that line. And then taking the legs wide. So either hands to hips or hands to the chair, legs wide. And I'm really, to a certain extent, pressing my hands forward. Even in this position, grounding 4 corners of the feet, inner and outer heel, mound of the big toe, over to the mound of the big toe, little toe. You know what I meant. Cross the front arch. Grounding the corners of the feet. And lifting the crown. And then bring the feet back together. We're going to take Warrior 2. And another option, another variation is with the chair, which I'll show because this one is less known. We're going to the right. So turn the left toes in and the right toes out. Inhale the arms to shoulder height, and then exhale, bend the knee. So if you're using the chair, if you feel like trying this on the chair, it looks like this, same pose, but I have the support of the chair for my thigh, and I'm lifting up as much as I need. So in my case, 1 blanket will do here. You can come in and out a few times, or you can stay, start to build sensation in the thigh, through the body, standing on holy ground, Admat Kodesh. And then come on up and switch sides. You can move the chair to the other side if you're using the chair. If you're standing, inhale the arms and exhale, bend the left knee. Good. So either freestanding or on the chair. They're just each going to give you something a little bit different. If you're feeling a little uneasy in your day or worried or anxious, a little bit without grounding, without Adama, the chair is very nice to provide that. And then when you're ready, come on up. Good. And then you can continue using the chair. I'll model without it this time. We're going to take Warrior 2 into side angle. So once again, legs wide, turning to the right, left toes in, right toes out. Inhale the arms shoulder height. Exhale, bend through that right knee. Turn the right palm to face up. Inhale, lift up, reverse warrior. Open that whole right side of the rib cage. And then exhale, take the right arm, forearm to the right thigh. Left hand can stay to the left hip, or if you like, bring it over. Either way. Gaze can be forward or gaze can be up. You decide. Couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, inhale to come on up. And then turn the feet. Same thing, other side. We so often miss the moment, this connection to holy space, right? So just aligning, or I should say gathering breath and body to really stay attentive and focused and open to what is here, to how precious it is. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Turn the left palm to face up. Inhale, lift up and back, reverse warrior. And then exhale, forearm to thigh. And if you like, top arm coming up and over. Side angle. And see what you prefer to do with your gaze. When you're ready, press into the feet. Inhale and come up. Keeping the legs wide, we're going to take a forward bend. You may want to have the chair in front of you for your hands. You may want to have a block or two blocks for your hands. Maybe your hands come to the floor. But if not, it's really nice to bring the floor up to you. Hands to the hips. Toes are pointing forward or even a little bit in. Inhale, draw the elbows back, lift the center of the heart up. And then exhale, folding at the hip crease, lengthen the spine, take the hands down to the chair, to the blocks, to the floor, wherever you're going. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, you can stay right here if you're happy and if this is plenty. Or if you'd like, you can fold forward. Let the head come down. The fingertips come in line with the toes. The elbows 90 degrees. Maybe you want to rest the head on a block or on something if it doesn't come all the way to the floor. So you decide, again, always taking this time at your own pace and your own needs. And that's always changing. So stay attentive. There's no need to be a hero. There's nobody with whom to compete. This is really time just to drop in and to drop judgment. And to be where we are. Hineni. And then start to unravel, to come out, hands to the hips, press into the feet, and inhale to come up, lift up. Exhale, come back to center. Great. Okay. This is where it gets kind of interesting. If you want to continue to use the chair, again, not required. I'll show it to you from the side. We're going to come to the floor and we're going to take cobbler's pose. That's soles of the feet together and knees out to the side. Bring your blanket for propping up. That'll help with the sacrum, lumbar, with the back area to give some length. And you'll see how much you need. Soles of the feet together, knees to the side. For those of us who are really tight and the knees are really high, we'll benefit from some lift, and you may even want to place a block under the outside of the knee, some support. If you're shaking a lot, if the inner thighs are just really gripping, you'll want the block. Here's where the chair comes in. If you're using it, you're drawing the chair right up and in against back. So my chair, my bridge chair is hitting me. Of course, it depends on your chair and also your own height. It's hitting me roughly at the low ribs, which is quite a nice spot that I can soften my rib cage back against the chair and also get from the chair some support and lift. We want to make space for the intervertebral discs. I'm convinced more and more as we age that the name of the game is the spine and the health of these discs. So you can take the hands all the way back if you want, or just it depends again on your own chair. I'm holding here and I'm kind of drawing my elbows in to hug the chair, and that gives me a lot of opening across the rib cage. Opens the diaphragm, space for the lungs. Great, and if you want to fold forward, of course you can do that, holding onto the ankles or taking the first two fingers under the big toes, right? So you can come forward if you'd like. A little or a lot. I'm just offering options and variations, of course, but you take it exactly how you need it. Then the next thing we'll do, you can stay where you are. Again, I've got a limitation of a wall here, so I'm just changing. You'll just take your legs wide wherever you're sitting, so you can continue with that chair behind you just as it is. The legs are now coming wide. You're holding onto the chair, or if you're freestanding, take your arms behind you and tent up on your fingertips. Draw your elbows toward each other. That's essentially what we're doing. So just be here supported, lifting tall. What the chair gives, I have the image of a building with scaffolding around it. The chair helps to give some scaffolding to support this position. Resting with breath and body on Admat Kodesh, holy ground. Right here. Again, if you'd like, you can begin to fold forward. Finding some length in the spine on each inhale and a little bit of fold on the exhale. Just play with that for as long as you'd like. Whenever you're ready, come on up. You can stay exactly where you are. I'm just sort of confined by the wall, the video, etc. Now we're going to turn and face forward to the chair if you're using the chair. We're going to extend the left leg long, draw the right knee bent, sole of the feet on the floor, hands clasped to the right shin, and lift up tall. If you have a chair that has a back piece there, your foot, arch of your foot can come against it, the front arch of your foot, which is really nice. Gonna let the right knee come out to the side. Again, you can have a block or towel or something under it if you like. That foot, that right foot can be anywhere depending on the amount of flexion that's okay for your knee. You can be kind of wide with the foot at the calf or the foot at the knee, or for those who prefer the foot all the way in towards the groin, also fine. So wherever you want to be. If you're using the chair, you can take hands to the chair. If not, just hands to the mat. Press a little bit down so that you can lift up through the torso. Good. And then inhale, lift tall, and exhale, begin to fold. However much you'd like. Maybe it's just a tiny bit. Maybe you're just going to work on sitting up tall, right? Maybe you want to come forward and start to walk your arms up the chair. And you can lay your forehead perhaps on the chair seat. This is really one of my favorites. It takes a dynamic pose and makes it so, both accessible and also restful, because you can rest your forehead. And of course you can build up the seat with any amount of blanket or pillow to bring the seat up to you as you need. And then as you're ready, come on up. Lift that right knee back up to center and we'll switch sides. So extend the right leg. Take your hand under the left knee to help bend it. And then knee comes out to the side. Again, be mindful of your own knees and your own needs. Your knees and your needs. Hands to the mat or to the chair, pressing down and lifting the heart up. Hineni al Amat Kodesh. Here I am on holy ground, ready for service, as imperfect as I am. Yeah, just like Moshe Rabbeinu. And then beginning to fold forward. So let's inhale, tall spine, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. So moving like that with each breath. Noticing how it's different on the second side for you. Take some moments to use your intuition for how you need to be in this pose, in this shape. As you're ready, come on up, release. Draw your left knee to the center line. Take your clasped hands to your left shin and lift up tall. Easy jaw, easy throat, easy brow. And then release, give it a little shake out. We're going to come onto our backs. We're going to be taking bridge pose. If you'd like just a really gentle, supported, restorative kind of bridge, then you'll just take your blanket under the hips, little bit of lift, and you can stay here as your bridge, or put a block underneath the low back, supported bridge. If you're working toward a more dynamic bridge today, knees are bent, the heels are in line with the sitting bones. Yeah, the arms are extended, holding on to the outer edges of the mat. Good. And then take the eyes of your elbows and turn them up toward the ceiling, toward. right? So that helps to externally rotate the upper arm bones, and you can begin already to tuck the outer shoulder under you, like you're tucking in a bed, sides of the bed. If you're a tucker. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen the tailbone as you press into the feet, all four corners of the feet, and lift the hips up. So first, we'll do it 3 times. So first one, just like a low, hammocky sort of bridge, no big deal. We're going for parallel thighs. We're going for lengthened tailbone, no crunch in the low back. Yes, we're engaging the glutes, the buttocks, but we're not squeezing as to constrict in the low back, right? No Mitzrayim in the low back. And then as you're ready, come on down on an exhale. Good. Again, inhale through the whole torso. Exhale, draw navel to spine, lengthen the tailbone, press into the feet, lift up. Maybe the shoulders roll under even a little more as hip points press up toward the ceiling. Back of the neck easy. Chin is tucked, but there's space both in the throat and the back of the neck. And then when you're ready, once again, lower down. It could be vertebra by vertebra or all in one piece, right? So either spinal articulation or just coming down all at once. Either one's fine. Pause for a moment, and we'll come up a third time. Inhale and exhale. Pressing into the feet, lifting up, shoulders rolling under. Maybe you want to clasp hands under the low back. Maybe you want to continue to hold the sides of the mat. See what's going on in your own body. Building some heat in the thighs. Not allowing those knees to splay. So maybe it's really a lot of work to keep that parallel, engaging the outer legs. Stay as long as you like. When you're ready to come out, just unraveling, widening the shoulders, lowering down vertebra by vertebra. Good. Taking anything you need as a final stretch, movement, counter stretch. Maybe you want to hug the knees in, or take happy baby, or take a lying down twist to each side. Just for the next minute or so, just exploring your own breath, your own sensation, moving with your body's wisdom. Al Admat Kodesh, on this holy space, this mat. This place that allows for transformation. Your mat is a special place. Think how many hours you've put in on it. Think how much it has held you and helped you change and grow and learn. It's holding a lot of vibration, a lot of pattern. That mat of yours, Admat Kodesh. And as you're ready, you can start to wind down your movement, just again listening for the body's cues and coming into stillness in any way you'd like. It might be traditional Shavasana with legs long, palms up. It might be constructive rest, knees bent, elbows out to the side, palms on the low belly or the low ribs. It might be with the lower legs up on the chair. Just taking some moments of stillness to let your nervous system integrate the work that you've done. David White, The Opening of Eyes. That day I saw beneath dark clouds the passing of light over the water, and I heard the voice of the world speak out. I knew then, as I had before, life is no passing memory of what has been, nor the remaining pages in a great book waiting to be read. It is the opening of eyes long closed. It is the vision of far-off things seen for the silence they hold. It is the heart, after years of secret conversing, speaking out loud in the clear air. It is Moses in the desert, fallen to his knees before the lit bush. It is the man throwing away his shoes as if to enter heaven, and finding himself astonished, opened at last, fallen in love with solid ground. Beginning to deepen the breath. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Giving your body a nice yawn, stretch, sigh. Take all the time you need to come up to a comfortable seat. If you have more time to stay in Shavasana, go for it. You can turn off the video and just come back when you're ready to your day. As we close, we send out the merit and the benefit of our practice. For all who need healing, refuat ha-nefesh, refuat ha-guf, a healing of soul, a healing of body. Perhaps to yourself, family members, friends, community members, enormous wishes of healing and safety to those in the Los Angeles area. To beings all over the world who are suffering, we send our blessing. We conclude, as we have been doing every single week, with the words from the Monday and Thursday Torah service liturgy, Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, wishing for safety and return of the hostages in Gaza. Please feel free to join me or just to listen as the words come on the screen. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, achyoteinu kol beit Yisrael, hanetunim betzara, betzara uvashivya, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. המקום ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה ומאפל לאורה ומשעבוד לגאולה השתה בגלה ובזמן קריב. השתה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. May they be home in safety and soon. May all those suffering in Gaza be relieved of their suffering, and those throughout the world who are suffering. Just returning to take a final breath or two deeply. Of grounding, connection. Of Hineni. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Shavua Tov. Thank you all for practicing today. We have 10 minutes for Q&A. So glad you're here. I put the David White poem that I read during Shavasana into the chat, so you can have that. I didn't find it myself. I don't remember who introduced it to me, but thanks to someone in the IJS sphere who brought that to my attention. David White, of course, is incredible. So time for questions, reflections on your practice today. You can use the chat to ask a question, or on the bottom bar under reactions, can use the hand-raising function. Just a reminder to check out Rabbi Sam Feinsmith's course, the course on parenting. And also, if you're looking for an extended retreat, to please join me at Kripalu in Massachusetts, April 24 to 27, together with teacher and mentor to many of us, Rabbi Sheila Peltz-Weinberg. We'll be there from Thursday night to Sunday noon. So if you're looking for a retreat, come join us. It'll be the 4th time I'm leading a retreat at Kripalu, and 2nd time with Sheila, and really looking forward.